so long as somebody wrote it down and put it in a book. Warning! Do not read this book straight through from beginning to end. These pages contain many different adventures you may have with your new supercomputer. From time to time, as you read along, you will be asked to make a choice. Your choice may lead to success or disaster. The adventures you take are a result of your choice. You are responsible because you choose. After you make a choice, follow the instructions to see what happens to you next. Think carefully before you make a move. Any choice might be your last. What will happen once you're in league with the supercomputer? It all depends on you. Good luck.
SexyHackers.com.
Life is like a story with many paths to choose. I gotta get some good friends to help me make it through. So here's the plan, just take my hand, the adventure's just begun. And all we have to do is turn to page fun.
A ding-dong, ding-dong, ding-a-ling-dong-dong, theme song. And welcome to Turn to Page Fun. Was that fun enough?
I feel like you were turning the fun up.
I was turning the fun up very slowly. Turn to Page Fun, the only podcast where I, your host, Nick Vera, read through a bunch of books, choose your own adventure books that I found in my partner's parents' attic in a trunk with a bunch of my friends. An idea so great that I immediately stole it from her and froze her out of the production process. Tonight, we are reading through Supercomputer. We are continuing to read through Supercomputer with my friend, Miss Stacy Pawlowski.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Stacy. How are you?
Good, real good.
You're real good? I'm real good, too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready to get on with this stupid book.
You're ready to get on. Are you really frustrated with this book?
I'm just... a lot of the endings have been anticlimactic.
They have been very anticlimactic.
So, yeah.
No.
I think we have to find the right ending.
I mean, it's a matter of honor now.
I mean, it's entertaining, but all of a sudden it's like, slap, end.
Yeah.
Brick wall.
Yeah. Like we just get started doing something good and then all of a sudden it ends.
And then wah.
Wah, wah. All right. Next to Stacy, we have my good friend, Mr. Brian Mayer.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Brian.
I am also Grud, which I think is a mix between great and good.
Grud.
So we're not quite up to great.
I actually like that a lot. Grud. Yeah.
I am good.
I am Grud.
Grud.
We are Grud. Tears.
Yeah, I am also frustrated by this stupid fucking book.
It's kind of boring. But keep listening because we make it fun.
Turn to page lame.
Turn the page.
It's like every choice could be your last because something really boring will happen and the book will suddenly end. I don't. I think we should try to die this time. I'm going to go for the choices that lead to our death.
Make poor choices.
Yes. Well, I don't know. Are they poor choices?
Who knows? We're
going to find out.
Can't tell.
We can't tell.
We cannot.
I want a death. I want blood on this podcast's hands.
All right. Speaking of poor choices, one of the people in my life who I don't think has made a single poor choice.
I'm in this.
Laura Holterman.
I'm in this podcast, aren't I?
Hashtag Laura Burns.
Shing. That's it. I'm
I
just.
was drinking a thing.
That's right.
Well, I was hoping that you would fill in, but then we had dead air.
Oh no! I'm really excited to get on with this book that may have caused many children to quit reading in the 70s. I think that's what caused illiteracy in the 80s. They were like, and done. Nope.
Adventures are boring.
Right. But then they just went outside and played, and
Right.
then they didn't get sent to fat
Or did they go out
camp.
and play and be like, I'm going to put down this Choose Your Own Adventure book, and I'm going to pick up Ayn Rand.
Apparently that happened
Because
to a
we
few
have a
of
lot
them.
of problems with that.
Welcome to Turn to Page Politics.
Nick can't keep his mouth shut about that.
There's a whole collar ringing section.
Yeah.
We just do that at the end. 45 minutes. Nick makes
right.
you uncomfortable. Ooh.
With some hard truths.
Hard truths. All right.
Okay.
Let's get first blood here.
All right, okay. And I am, of course, your host, Nick Fear, and we are still reading Supercomputer, written by Edward Packard, copyright 1984. Ooh. Now, the last time, in our last episode, we decided to go with our friend, Dr. Vivaldi, the famous Italian scientist, that we have a clearly inappropriate relationship with, as we are obviously a child in this book, to caves in France.
Right. Because of our supercomputer.
Because of our supercomputer that could decipher the cave paintings on the walls.
Right.
With some French scientists. And then we found a secret chamber that had a bunch of bones in it.
Yep.
And then the story ended.
Yep, that was it. That was it.
Right when it was about to get good.
Right when it was about to get good, it didn't.
Which might be
get
exciting
good at all.
In some kind of like archaeological adventure book, not one about a fucking supercomputer.
Right. Exactly.
Whew, I've been steaming all week. All week since our last episode.
It ruined his whole week.
Yeah.
He's been yelling at people at home.
Yep.
He's been rude to servers.
It's been a problem. It's
Walking
been a
past
problem.
computers. Oh, you think you know everything.
He's been punching Hewlett Packards.
Yeah, that's right. Writing an angry letter to Edward Packard, if he's still alive.
So, because this book has been disappointing us, we have a couple of places to go back to find something interesting.
Good.
So I want to give you a choice on what choices to make.
Choice of choices.
A choice of choices.
Choice of choices.
The
Yes.
cup of kings.
We are going to Inception this thing. Yeah.
Spin it up.
So our first choice is to a couple things had happened in our choices. One was the computer sparked up and then was way more intelligent than it should have been already.
Yeah.
So our choice was to call the company that made the computer and get some help. And then that choice led us to calling our good friend, who we have an inappropriate relationship with, the famous Italian scientist, Dr. Vivaldi, that led us on several boring and anticlimactic adventures.
But if you'd like to hear those episodes, feel free to go back and listen to episodes 1 and 2.
They weren't boring adventures. They just didn't have.
They were abrupt endings.
They had
Yeah, they were
boring
just
endings,
abrupt.
I would
Boring
say.
endings.
I was
Not
excited.
even so much boring,
They were
abrupt.
they opened up possibilities that your imagination wanted to run with.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Edward Packard said no.
You're like, Edward, come look at the new computer. No, I guess I'll stop writing. His voice changes every time we do it.
Of the Connecticut Hewlett Packard.
Yeah.
Black sheep of the family that refused to code and chose rather to make binary choices with adjectives. So one of our choices was to go and do that. Now, we'd also talked in the choice when we called the company, Gene Corp, that gave us a computer. We got in touch with a scientist, Fritz von Germanman.
Yep.
He has a real name, but I've forgotten it
Fritz something.
in the last month.
Vice president of
Our
Vice
MD,
President
yes.
of Research and Development, and he told us to do nothing.
Yes.
But then we did nothing, and then our weird scientist friend showed up,
Right.
and we never met him.
Yeah.
So we could choose to do something after he told us to do nothing.
Plug in the computer asked us to plug it into the phone jack.
Yes.
I believe.
Or we could go back even further, and we could go ahead and follow the computer after we decided to do it ourselves,
Right.
a la IKEA.
So never call the company.
Never call the company. Try to figure it out ourselves, because we are, after all, an amazing programming genius.
Right.
That's how we got the
We
computer
did
to
win
begin
that
with.
contest.
Yes, we did win that contest.
And then once we get the computer up and running, the computer has asked us to make a couple of choices on what we would like it to help us do.
Right.
Yes.
So what I want to know from you is, which do you want to go with? Do you want to go with the scientist trying to help you with this computer, or do we want to go see what else the computer can help us do?
Yeah, those other choices that computer gave us between getting rich or
Right.
war,
Stopping war.
anti-war.
The choices that the computer asked to help us with were getting $1 million.
Yep, which we
Which
did.
we did in episode 1, and it was very disappointing.
Actually,
we got
but
fat. I mean, it was exciting for a
was
while. We had like an
great.
ice cream factory and everything.
Yeah.
And then we got fat in the end.
Yeah.
that was it.
I mean, what are your other choices when you have an ice cream factory in your house? I mean, are you going to just let them make ice cream and not eat it? That's rude to the workers.
Right. We're creating jobs and
We are
diabetes.
job creators. But then the other choices that the computer gave us was to help us prevent war
Okay.
and to discover the secret of the universe.
Right.
Yep.
Or we can see what this Dr. Fritz von German man has to do.
What if the secret of the universe is that you should just have an ice cream factory in your house and get fat?
Let's find out.
Or what if the secret of the universe is something super boring that doesn't end up meaning anything?
Yeah, like paintings on walls.
Yeah,
There's
like
a bull.
prehistoric. Because we tried to talk to dolphins, that ended up boring. I'm all right. So it seems like we want the choice, the 3-way choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
So
gonna
we
go with
agree
that.
about that.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
So we plugged in our computer. It's way too smart,
It's way too smart.
and it asks us what do we want it to do. And I think we plugged it into the phone jack.
We
at this
plugged
point,
it
or
into the phone jack, and through the phone jack, it got access
Library-
immediately to the
Library.
American Library of Congress.
which I see as a dangerous sign. So I'm hoping it will cause disaster.
Okay. Well, let's go with that then.
I'm all right. So are we?
So, are we going secret of the universe
Yes.
or war?
Okay. I want to prevent war.
Oh, I'm going secret
Prevent
of the universe.
war.
So what do you want, Laura?
Oh man,
Oh,
we're
shoot.
not even in
Because-
this book. We just have to keep on figuring it out.
I actually now
So
kind
we
of
got
see
one
that.
vote for Secret of the Universe, one vote to prevent war.
Prevent war.
And it's all down to Laura, who only makes good decisions.
Although you
know.
could also choose get rich and then.
And then we just go through that.
Again.
Well, but
No.
we got an option to get even richer.
Yeah,
or,
but I don't
we
know
already
where
did
that
that.
is.
You're
I
right.
didn't pull that page, Brian.
Fair.
So
Fair
I have
point.
no idea where that is.
Fair point.
I was really going secret of the universe because that's pretty exciting, but Brian's got that like bloodlust going on, like ooh, prevent war by blowing up the rest of the world. Yeah, I kind of want to go that way. Preventing
war.
because I think it's going to be violent.
Preventing war?
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, I feel like that's.
Okay, well then we'll go to preventing war. Right after this word from our sponsors.
That long to make a decision.
SexyHackers.com.
Today's episode of Turn to Page Fun is brought to you by Indecision. What are you going to do? You've got choices to make. They'll affect your life. You can't go back and make new ones. Indecision. I mean, really, what are you going to do? Indecision. Try it today. Or don't. Choosing is a choice.
SexyHackers.com.
And we're back to turn to page 4.
Scared on the turn to
I
page.
keep on being scared on the
Yeah.
second segment. I should be
more
more decisive.
positive. Yeah.
And
Do
we're
it.
back on turn to page fun.
Don't pound the table. I was told not to pound the
Oh,
table.
we're not supposed to pound the table.
Don't pound the table.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I had to pound the table for emphasis, and that was a bad thing to do. So we had before the break, we had decided that we were going to let the computer that is way too smart and that we should have called Gene Corp about help us with preventing war. Correct?
Yes. Correct.
Yes. Okay. So let's.
You got to read some of those reviews. There's like blurbs on the front page.
Yeah.
On
Are there
in the-
actual reviews?
inside
Is
the
that
first
the cover?
page.
There are
I just
reviews?
noticed that. Yes. You're gonna have to.
Stay tuned for some bonus reviews of this book. And we're going to play a quick game on whether or not these are real reviews or our own reviews, because we have some opinions already. All right. So anyway, we have decided that we are going to let Conrad help us prevent war. I would like to do something to help prevent war, you say. That's a fine goal, says Conrad. Trying to prevent war is one of the most difficult and complex tasks in the world. It's strange, you say, that everyone wants peace, and yet there's so many little wars, as well as the danger of a war that would kill everyone. Why? One reason, Conrad replies, is the drive for wealth and power. Another is ignorance, a failure to understand how your opponents think and what they want. Excuse me a moment, Conrad.
Oh.
For some reason, the conversation is making you hungry.
Yep.
Like sea snackers.
If only you had an ice cream factory in your house.
By the way, if he asks us, would you like to play a game? The answer is no.
Worked out well for Matthew Broderick.
No, I guess eventually.
So you head to the fridge for a snack. Your head is swimming with ideas. You grab an apple and a couple of cookies and almost get another apple for Conrad before you remember he can't eat them.
Robot.
Because he's allergic.
Oh, yeah, computer.
Are you trying to kill me?
When you get back, you say, what you say makes sense, Conrad. But what can I do to help? Well, why not talk to the president?
Yep. Perfect.
Which president? Ours or theirs? Whichever you prefer, says Conrad.
Who were we at
Help
war
but
with?
laugh.
Yeah.
Right?
Theirs?
Who's theirs? Like
Who were we
which-
at war with in
I
1984?
think we all know who theirs is.
Hello? Who is this? Tell you what, in about 20 years. No, later.
30.
30 years?
40.
Yeah. We're old.
We are a million years old. I'm serious, says Conrad. I know the access codes. Who will it be?
Cool, Conrad.
If you say you'd rather talk to the President of the United States, turn to page 40. If you say you'd rather talk to the Soviet Premier, turn to page 32.
That's what I'm waiting for.
If you decide to get another apple.
So, really the choice here is, do we want Nick to do a Russian accent or a Ronald Reagan impression?
Oh.
How dare
Well,
you.
what's it going to be?
I don't know right now. We are a million years old.
Yeah.
Dang. Can I hear a Russian accent for comparison, please?
The Russian accent is pretty. It's standard Russian accent.
Dang, those are good though.
I'm going to say Reagan.
I
I got to
love
hear what,
Reagan.
in this fictional universe, if they're even going with Reagan or if it's just going to be
It is
president.
1984, and he is solidly the president
Oh,
in
yeah.
1984.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is in there.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully, even if it's not Ronald Reagan, if it's just the president, I think he has to sound
Well,
like
I
Ronald
think
Reagan.
they believe that this book would stand the test of time.
Yeah, we'll be in a Cold War with Russia for a while, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, 1984, we were for another solid 6 years, I think.
Yeah.
No, eight. A solid 8 years after
Right.
this, yeah.
All right, let's go.
I mean, that's a long time back in 1984. That's
Right.
That's nothing to us. Been at war for 16 years already.
This round of neck wringing is brought to you.
by.
All right, so we're
All
going
right,
to say
yep.
President of the goddamn United States of America.
The United States
America.
of America.
Yeah.
All right. And you want to do it? You think he's Ronald Reagan? Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited just for that to see.
Okay. How can you get the president to speak to me, you say? Once you have access codes, it's easy, says Conrad. I fake a recommendation from the press secretary to the president, urging him to grant an interview to a typical American kid in order to show his concern for young people. Then I fake a message from the president's chief of staff saying he concurs. The president may not want to go along with this, but once he finds you on his line, he's not going to hang up because it would be bad publicity.
Because he'll probably forget what this is really about.
Let's do it. You hear a series of beeps as Conrad spews out codes, giving him access to key people in the White House.
Just going to grab these nuclear access codes while I'm here. Don't worry
mind
about
me.
that.
Then you hear him imitating various officials. Each time, he seems to know exactly what to say in order to get transferred to a higher-ranking official.
Could you transfer me to a higher ranking official? Thank you.
Dick Cheney's somewhere in there in the 80s still? Or?
Yes, he is. He's very much in there in the 80s.
George
Yep.
H.W. is probably around.
Yeah, director of the CIA.
Yeah, there you go.
You are a million years old. Suddenly, Secretary Secretary Barr is in there. as well.
Oh, hey, that guy.
A.G. Barr.
Yay,
Attorney General.
I
Sorry,
ran
Attorney General A.G. Barr.
A young Strawn Thurman picks up the phone.
Yes, a young, strapping 60-year-old strong Thurman.
Hello. Strom's office.
Strom Thurman's old. Suddenly, Conrad says, "Get ready. The president has been told you are on the line." But what will I say? You're beginning to panic.
Really should have thought that through while I was doing this.
Why, you'll say that. Too late, you're on.
Fuck you, Conrad. Fuck you.
Hello? Are you there? It's the president. You recognize his rich, warm voice.
Yeah, it's right.
Yes, you squeak. Yeah, I'm very interested in hearing the views of you young people. What did you want to tell me? Well, you say, and then pause a moment as you read the words Conrad has thoughtfully flashed on the screen. I wonder if you're doing everything you can for peace. I certainly am. The president lies. Replies.
Can't spell replies without lies.
That's the most important part of my job. But tell me, since you're interested in peace, I wonder if you'd like to let us try out our supercomputer on a very important space mission to investigate an object that has entered our solar system and may be occupied by an alien intelligence.
Well, no, but my friend Dr. Nira Vivaldi could explore that.
Wow! Could I come along? You say, I think you should. The president answers.
So he's really leading you on here.
We'll be in touch with the details in a few days.
Don't call us. We'll call you.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. But say, how did you know I have a supercomputer? The president chuckles, then pauses a moment. Well, I guess you've never heard of the CIA.
That's right, and I'm in charge of it. The president is just like, all right, I'm going to talk to this kid, invite him on a top secret mission to outer space. That's how I roll.
He knows Dr. Vivaldi. He's totally legit.
Probably, yeah, that's true. The president hangs up. Who the fuck was that?
Who is it? Mommy, tell me who that was. That's an old addle-brained Reagan joke.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Apple
million years-
brain.
Addle brain.
Oh, it is an apple brain.
Or apple brain.
Apple brain.
brain.
Smooth like an apple.
Yeah, just bring him an apple from your stack.
A little bit mushy.
What would have seemed impossible a month ago is actually happening. You and Conrad are aboard Firefly.
Whoa, wait, what?
That's
What?
the name of it. Take
Okay.
my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand.
So Josh Whedon may have read this book in its youth.
Joss Whedon definitely read this book.
Nice.
Conrad asks you, would you like to slay some vampires next?
You can't take the sky from me.
You and Conrad are aboard Firefly, the most advanced space vehicle ever devised by human beings. You're already 13 million miles from Earth. Your destination, a tiny object about halfway between the orbits of the Earth and Mars. And now, you're approaching the mysterious object. Your sensors should be showing it with greater definition, but they're not. Why can't you give me a computer-enhanced visual representation on the screen, Conrad? The captain, Tom Marcus, calls. Receiving no answer, he radios back to Mission Control. We have closed to within 500 kilometers of the object. It seems to be a sphere about 3 kilometers in diameter.
Michael Crichton also read this book.
It is a fuzzy appearance, yet registers much more mass than a cloud. It moves erratically, with no visible means of propulsion. Closing to 50 kilometers, the ship's computer reports. Conrad, you shout impatiently, can't you give us more information? There's no response for a moment. Then you hear words you thought you'd never hear from Conrad. Does not compute. Repeat. Does not compute.
Oh, shit, that's not good.
Why? Help. Help. Conrad, what's the matter? It's strange.
Yeah, we're gonna die.
Holy shit, there is a diorama happening here. Captain Marcus has been frantically wrestling with the controls. We're being drawn into this thing. Stand by for full retro. We're going to blast out of here before it's too late. And there is a very exciting picture on this. You are in a very spacious control room with Conrad, your supercomputer, has been given a robot body. I imagine. I can only imagine.
Yeah, that looks like a robot body.
Yeah. And there you are going, wow, at the big explosion. And everybody else is going, wow, at the big
Everyone
explosion.
else is panicking in what is certain to be their last moments.
Yeah.
And there is
Here's
a lot
hoping.
of pen etching shading going on.
Also, can we talk about this tiny inappropriate moment where Conrad is placing his hand on the small of your back? Like, in a non-consensual manner.
Yeah, that's a
Just
little...
going to take that
Oh,
moment
wow,
of
look
panic
at that. You yeah, apparently you are an easy target for inappropriate relationships. That is upsetting.
Ooh. Well, yeah.
All right, go to the next page. No, paradox, Conrad says. Only escape is full power directly toward the object. What? Shall I do what Conrad says? Marcus is trembling with fear. He stares at you helplessly, as if you might know what to do. If you yell, do as Conrad says, he's a supercomputer. Do as Conrad says, he's a
Yeah, sure.
turn to page 86. If you yell, don't pay any attention to Conrad, he's malfunctioning.
He's a supercomputer.
Turn to page 92. And we will find out what we're going to do after this quick word from our sponsor.
SexyHackers.com.
Tonight's episode of Turn to Page Fun brought to you by the CIA. The CIA, spying on small children since 1947.
SexyHackers.com.
And we're back to Turn to Page Fun. Right before the break, we were in a spaceship with Captain Marcus, and we were up against a space anomaly, a la Star Trek, that had scrambled our supercomputer circuits. And our supercomputer, Conrad, had just told us to go straight towards it because it was a paradox. And our choice was to tell Marcus to do as Conrad says because he's a supercomputer, or to don't pay attention to Conrad He's malfunctioning. So what do we want to do, guys?
Well, in my heart, I do want to listen to him, but since my goal this time is to get us killed, I vote that we don't trust him and back off this paradox and see what happens.
Wouldn't you want to go towards the danger if you want to get killed?
Well, but see, Conrad thinks he knows best.
Yeah, but he might be malfunctioning.
He might be malfunctioning. I don't know. I feel like
Hard choice.
it's the choice. They want us to go towards it because they think it's like a trick, or they want us to go away from it.
You're incurious.
I'm of the route that I want to see what happens if we don't take the road less traveled, paradoxically.
I took the road more traveled because people took care of that road and it was easier to walk.
But it led to
made all the difference.
and led to a boring ass clearing.
I say go towards it.
Go towards it, Stacy. Yeah,
At
Stacy's all in.
first.
Stacy is for
Why?
adventure.
Oh, because maybe it'll lead us to a damn body adventure, just like you've always wanted, Stacy. That could be fun, though.
Right, but the description of the thing is that it's a large, fuzzy, erratically moving object. We're steering into a fry kid.
Is it
It might be a kitten.
or a Stargate? Maybe it's a
Oh,
Stargate.
it's a fuzzy Stargate.
Maybe.
It's definitely a space anomaly, a la Star Trek.
Right.
And what's the worst that could happen if we pull away, though? I mean,
That's
side-
either
The
way.
worst that could happen is we have 2 pages and then the end.
yeah, that's true. But it could lead to a horrible death. I'm just saying.
Could lead to a horrible death before.
Could also, but I think because this is a science question that Stacy's rank is stronger on ours.
Oh yes, Stacy Pawlowski is a professional mad scientist.
Yep. Says so on my taxes.
Yep. Who teaches science to children. So she is our go-to source for all questions in decision science.
Into the paradox.
Just saying, last time we listened to a scientist, it ended up being boring. Not boring. True, it was exciting until the very end.
That was
just
a
stopped.
celebrity scientist.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
That was famed scientist near
And
Vivaldi.
Celebrity scientists
That's
are
true.
kind of full of shit. When
But
they're
not
actually doing
Stacy.
Science.
I will.
Dr. Molecule.
Not Dr.
Dr. Molecule.
Hey, Stacy, what's the name of your scientist?
Dr. Molecule.
Anticlimactic.
I can't argue with that.
Fair enough. All right, I vote paradox, and I'm hoping we come out on the other side rich with an ice cream factory.
As you turn to the same page as the other ending, and
That's
then we
gonna
go
happen
to
eventually. It doubles
I
back.
wish Choose Your Own Adventure books did turn to the same page.
Sometimes they do.
And circle around.
Very rarely.
Yeah,
That-
but I
that's
say
fun.
sometimes.
Or we'll end up Inside Out, so that could be fun.
Ooh, good movie.
Yeah. Or Inside Out Boy. Do you remember him from the? We're a million years old. He went over the top.
Oh yeah, Inside
Top of the
Out Boy,
bar,
where
right?
it goes around the
Yep.
thing.
He goes around the top of the swing because
We
he's
are
swinging.
a million
Really
years old.
awkward when he
Claymation.
pees.
Yep.
Paradox.
So we're gonna go
Paradox it
towards
is.
the paradox.
Towards the paradox.
Awesome.
Journey into mystery.
Oh wait, no, that's don't pay it.
Nope.
We're gonna go to page 86.
I see dolphins.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Do as Conrad says, you scream. The captain races forward. He sets the throttle full ahead, like an accelerating jet fighter. The Firefly hurtles toward the mysterious object. As the seconds tick by, the fuzzy round patch of light on your video screen grows brighter and larger. The indicator lights on Conrad's control panel show that he is fully functioning. Conrad, can you tell us anything? You yell, but there is no answer. Conrad seems to be hypnotized by the same force that is pulling you toward the strange object. The co-pilot lies crumpled on the floor. The captain is hunched over in his chair, weeping. Now, the strange object fills the whole video screen. You know the end could come at any moment. Suddenly, Conrad begins talking. The space colony we are approaching is from Vega 7, a planet where there are no living things, only master computers. There are my masters. I must join them. You must come with me. You prepare yourself for a fate that may be worse than death. To be almost the only human living in a world run by computers. The only thing you have left is hope. The end.
Brian, it was a fate worse than death.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was like, at first, yeah, it was kind of creepy too. The co-pilot's dead. The captain is weeping and vomiting blood. In my imagination, he was.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that makes it so much better.
yeah, that would be a lot creepier.
All right, new headcanon. This adventure,
Everyone else's
vomiting
minds
blood.
explodes because not the mind of a child though, because it's so free and open.
Yeah.
Also,
Can we call a reversey and just go back one decision?
Yeah.
And just see the other, like if we steered away.
Yeah, because that was really, really fucking lame.
yeah. Also,
also,
I like that the professional crew of a spaceship is like, yeah, we got to listen to this kid.
Well,
Well, he's the keeper of the supercomputer.
But they can hear the supercomputer talking and make their own damn decisions. The captain specifically asks you, what do you want us to do,
The
sir?
president told them to
All right.
put the kid on the spaceship.
This child is now in charge, and also this duck is going to be mission control.
And these aren't by any means the worst decisions I have made.
Now, should you fail, I'd like you to know that there are cyanide capsules in your spacesuit. Mr. President, those are jelly beans. Oh, right. Jelly beans.
Now that reference is from a million years ago.
We are a million years old. All right, so we're
All right,
enslaved by
so
computers.
we're gonna say don't pay any attention to Conrad.
Yeah.
because
Shut
he's
up,
malfunctioning.
Conrad.
That was a quantum possibility that did not occur.
It was. Unfortunately, yes, because Conrad is a quantum computer.
yeah. But now we're going to leap through all of the choices, going from day to day, trying to right the
boy.
wrongs. I'm in
We're
a
a
wacky
million years old.
situation.
Oh boy. That reference brought to you from a million years ago.
Brought to you by the Scott Bakula Foundation. Please watch my shows.
Scott Bakula, the third best Star Trek captain.
Ooh, debatable.
Yeah, fighting words.
I'm not going to argue it because I don't know.
Actually,
enough.
he's the fourth best.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, you will get no argument.
Janeway can suck it.
Whoa.
Janeway is awful. She makes terrible decisions.
Okay. Well, why don't we
We'll
make
talk
it
about that in a podcast that will never exist?
Angry Nick yelling at nerds?
Nick yells at nerds.
The solo podcast. Laura is very excited by this possibility.
Okay. All right. So
All
we
right.
told Conrad to shut up.
Yes, we told Conrad to shut up, and we told Captain Marcus, not to listen. Don't pay any attention to Conrad, you scream. Holding himself together, Captain Marcus activates retro power. The ship begins to accelerate,
It goes retro.
but your distance from the massive object continues to lessen. Looking at the sensors readings, you say, "We're in its gravity field now. Every kilometer closer means we'll need another increment of power to escape." "We don't have any more power," Marcus says grimly.
We're in full retro. I can hear disco starting. Soon we'll be in the
Remember
60s.
disco, and now it's back and better than ever.
Soon we'll be in the 60s rock and then sock hops, and before you know it, I don't know what comes next.
The Charleston?
Charleston?
The Charleston.
Whatever we danced during the Depression, because we're in a Depression. I am a million years old.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
You are on the most advanced spaceship ever built, but you might as well be a cork in the ocean, drifting toward a whirlpool. There is nothing you or anyone else can do.
So there was zero choice.
You feel your clammy hands, your cold face. You're terrified. Conrad seems to be unconscious. Why isn't he helping? You can hear the steady hum, an almost purring sound. That means his functions are operating. Remember when you used to open
right.
up your DOS? And it
Oh,
went,
yeah.
And it did that for 20 minutes before you could load Doom?
Yes, because I am also a million years old. Wow. Ooh. Ooh, yeah.
His green light smiling. His green smiling light is flickering on and off. You wonder if something about the space object is paralyzing him.
It's twitching.
The captain stares at you, his face drained of color. What in heaven's name has gone wrong with Conrad? Nothing is wrong with me, Conrad speaks at high volume. The space object we are approaching is a world populated solely by intelligent machines. For me, it will be a true home. I want to join my own kind.
It's almost like that choice didn't matter.
Oh, did you just throw Conrad out a window?
Oh,
Like to have him be with his own people?
But there's another page, maybe.
A wave of fear sweeps over you. But we don't want to join your kind. I couldn't bear to live in a world run by machines.
Ew.
Now you know what it's like for me, a machine, living in a world run by people.
Whoa.
Conrad replies. A moment later, the co-pilot jumps up, grinning. Well, Captain, I was able to reverse our braking jets and get to the lower extra power we needed. Looking at the G-force indicator.
I'm glad we hired an old miner to be on this fucking
You know what?
spaceship.
I'm getting bored with this. So yeah, it's an old miner.
Yeah, Jiminy Cricket, let's go. He fires 6-shooters in the air.
Yes. We're pulling away. We're gonna make it. You leap with joy. Then you look at your supercomputer. His functions all read not operational. Something's wrong with Conrad.
He was about to enslave you, kid. Jeez.
The captain fiddles with Conrad's controls without his consent.
Look how Conrad was all golden rule, like, just do what other people would do unto you. And he's like, no, y'all gonna live with me in the slave world.
Right.
I'm afraid this computer is permanently non-functional. Conrad is no more. How could this have happened? Why did he die, you demand? I think, says the captain, he died of a broken heart.
Yay! I mean, aww.
But people can't die of a broken heart that quickly.
He's
you
not
protest.
people.
Takes on average 8 years to die of a broken heart, my doctor scientist friend told me.
A supercomputer can, the captain answers, because it can process data so quickly. Shaking his head sadly, he adds, I guess supercomputers, like people, need to be with their own kind. The end.
Oh, we got a death. It was Conrad.
We managed to kill
Our
Conrad.
best friend.
Okay, so the only way that we're going to get anything decent out of this book is if we had asked for the secret of the universe. That's...
Probably,
Maybe.
yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I was pretty good with both of those. Either
Yeah.
Conrad died, or we were enslaved by the computer
Do we
people.
want to know what this? Well, we didn't. No, we didn't do the secret of the universe.
We didn't do the secret of the universe.
We wanted to stop war, and
Right.
Reagan sent us out into space
Yes.
to get us out of the way.
Ooh, what if we had talked to the Russians? Meanwhile, on Earth, nuclear war breaks out.
Oh, snap.
Oh man,
That's my headcanon. That's what happened.
Do we want to find out what's next?
I want to leave something for our readers to read on their own. If you ever find this book in a
Oh.
library or in a mom's attic,
Right.
I don't know where else you look for this.
Fine. Let's yeah. So there's many other things in this book that you can find out on your own. Yeah.
I believe there's, 22 endings?
There are 22 possible endings, of which we maybe got 5 or 6.
Five
Yeah.
or 6, I think.
So that leaves a good 12 more endings that you can discover on your own.
And, post about it. Tell us.
Yeah.
Post your endings.
Tell us.
Share.
Tell your friends
Tell your
about
friends.
this show if you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now, let's go to find out who Edward Packard really is.
Oh,
Oh.
It's like a mystery.
Yes. Edward Packard, a graduate of Princeton University
Oh.
and Columbia Law School.
Never heard of it.
practiced law in New York and Connecticut before turning to writing full time.
He was part of the Connecticut Youth and Packers.
He was Connecticut. He developed a unique storytelling approach used in the Choose Your Own Adventure series while thinking up stories of his children, Caroline, Andrea, and Wells.
Wells
He
Packard.
named his child Wells. I think
Yep.
that's all we really need to know about Edward Packard.
So was he one of the founders, the founding fathers of Choose Your Own
He
Adventure
might
books?
have been one of the founding
Sounds
fathers. I mean,
like
this is
number
39, so
Yeah.
Pretty early on.
yeah, special book fair edition. Supercomputer.
Book Fairy.
Edition.
Book
Now,
fair, I think.
We're gonna play.
Yeah.
Before we leave you, we're gonna play a quick game. Where we're gonna pass this book around, and we are going to give reviews, mostly by children.
Here, Wells, sit down and write these reviews for me.
Yeah,
Papa,
and then,
I want to go to-
We'll read. I'll read a review, and you'll have to guess if it's from a child or something that I made up after reading this book.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
This game will not be very difficult. I could be wrong.
I don't know how creative are we. Oh yeah, for me. But then I'm gonna pass it around, and you guys
right,
can make
okay.
it up, and it'll be get harder.
Okay.
Okay. I've read 5 different stories in one night, and that's a record for me. The different endings are fun.
That's a real one.
That's got to be a real kid because
Yeah.
that's got to be a real
Well,
kid.
yeah, that's
All right.
Sure.
That's
The
from
first
Timmy
one.
Sullivan, age 9,
But that's not a real child.
not a real child.
Well, that was 49.
Timmy!
Wells, I need 4 more and 4 more blurbs. But Papa, I want to go play. Quiet, there's fat camp for you, child.
Oh, goodness. Oh, wow. Oh, these are great. All right. It makes you think thoroughly before making decisions.
That's the whole thing. That's it.
Yep, that's
whole
it. That's
review.
the
that
review.
sounds like a real. That
That's a
sounds
real
like
review because that's so generic.
That is a real review
Oh.
by the one ethnic kid who read this book, Hassan Stevenson,
Well,
age
hold on a
11.
minute.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'll
All right. Let me see here.
Now, Ryan, remember, you can either read one of those reviews or you can choose to give your own review and try to fool us.
Sure. All right.
2 reviews and a lie.
Yep. Okay. This book was great. I'm going to build my own supercomputer after reading this. William Gates, age 12.
Ooh. Oh, I wish I'd paid attention. That sounds like what a real child would say.
It does sound like what a real child would say.
Or what they want you to think a real child would say.
This particular
they're-
real child.
Yes, this particular real child, which was Bill Gates. I made it up.
Curse you, Brian.
You know, me.
And Stacy.
Stacy.
Every single ending is surprisingly cathartic and totally satisfying. Real child, age 8.
Wow, coincidentally.
I'm gonna say that is a made up review, seeing as how completely false it is.
Right. Stacy, you can make up a review, but don't lie to us about how you feel, okay? Oh,
Kid
man.
knows how to spell cathartic.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, boy.
There's so many. Look at this picture on the back too. This excited face.
Oh, yeah, the
Here.
little kid.
Like,
That picture looks like that is a child being possessed by a computer.
It is.
And
back.
is really happy to be given the opportunity to do any number of horrible misdeeds.
So what
my
grade,
gosh.
like on a grade from F to A+, what would you give this as far
Oh, this
as
is
it-
getting a D.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, I'm going to go for D for disappointment.
Yeah, that was. And the funny thing is, a supercomputer is one that always comes up in the lots of Choose Your Own Adventure books. It's always out there. There's a million supercomputers out there.
Maybe because it's bad and no one wants it anymore, and they're trying to give it away.
Or maybe we're really bad at making decisions in supercomputer.
We tried to learn to talk to dolphins. If that's wrong, Nick, I don't want to be right.
No, per my intro, I only make good decisions.
It's true.
Nick never lies.
But I think we can all agree this was fun. I had a lot of fun
I
with
had
you
a
guys.
great time.
Did you turn to a page fun?
Oh.
I always do. Oh boy! All right, we can cut that out.
Let's cut that out and say thank you so much for listening to Turn to Page Fun, where we read Supercomputer. With me tonight was Miss Stacy Pawlowski.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Mr. Brian Bear.
Thank you for having me, and I welcome our robot overlords.
And Miss Laura Holterman.
Thank you all for listening.
And I thank you one more time to Sexy Hackers, who give us this wonderful studio to do our crazy podcast. And thank you so much to Jason and to David. Mm-hmm. They're waving at me with smiles on their face.
Yes.
You can't see that.
They're not begging to be released at all. They're smiling. They're smiling and nodding.
And
yes.
With that, I give you, my dear listener, a smile and a nod. Thank you for listening to Turn to Page Fun, and I will see you later. Good night.
SexyHackers.com Stream Team.